Hi there, today we're going to be talking about one-point perspective. One-point perspective is a drawing skill that uses a bit of mathematical proportions to help create some illusions. So the first step in one-point perspective is you're going to start with a little dot in the center of your paper, and this is called the vanishing point. Some people refer to this as the focal point as well, but it's the vanishing point, and then the second step is you're gonna draw a horizontal line through your vanishing point, and this is gonna be called our horizon line. And this is gonna help us determine if we're looking down at something or if we're looking up at something. And so now I'm gonna walk you through how to draw an object that goes both above and below the horizon line, just above the horizon line and below the horizon line. And to start this, I'm going to start off by drawing my guidelines, and I'm just going to start off by making an X through my paper, having them go through the center of my vanishing point. And the first shape we're going to draw is one that goes above and below the horizon line, so I'm going to make a line there and a line there, and then I'm just going to make my two horizontal lines go off the edge. The main thing about your vertical lines when you're doing one-point perspective is you want to keep them parallel with the edges of your paper. And now I'm making more guidelines so I can start drawing my objects above and below the horizon line. So I'm starting with my object above the horizon line. So I did my first two vertical lines, and then I'm going to make a second one, or a third one, that is the same size as my second line. And then I'm going to connect them with horizontal lines. And then to create the final line, I'm going to do another guideline and create a horizontal line going across that guideline. And so on this shape, you can only see the bottom of it, which means we're looking up at it. And this makes sense since it's above the horizon line, or you're looking up at it. And so now we're going to do one below the horizon line. You're going to do your first two lines, and then you're going to make your third line, again the same size as your second line. You're going to connect those with horizontal lines, and then once again you're going to create another guideline that goes across the corner of your shape and make another horizontal line. And then on this shape you can only see the top and sides of it, which means it's below the horizon line. And now I'm just going to go through real quickly and outline these shapes so you can see them a bit more clearly. Different color here. And see, the one on our left is our main big shape, and this goes above and below the horizon line, and you can only see the sides on this shape. And then in our shape that's above the horizon line, you can only see the sides and the bottom of it. And then our shape below the horizon line, you can only see the sides and the top of it. For the next step, we're going to use the skills we learned here to create kind of the basic start of a drawing of a street with buildings going down the side of it. So to do that, I'm going to clear my canvas real quick. And I'm going to start by, once again, creating my vanishing point in the center of the page. And then I'm going to go and create my horizontal line through that. And then I'll create my X on the page again to start with my guidelines. And then from here, I'm just going to do buildings that go above and below the horizon line for now, because one, we don't have floating buildings, and I don't really want a down shot of my buildings. So I just want to see the sides of them. So I start by making my parallel lines with the edge of the paper, and then I'll make my horizontal lines that connect my vertical lines. And then on the this other side, I'm going to make 3 buildings this time instead of just 2. And you'll see I kind of mess up on this second building, thinking I don't need to make my line go all the way up to the guideline. You do. Your parallel line or your vertical line should reach your guidelines. I'm making my horizontal lines for this building. And then I'm going to make a little building. And I connect that with my horizontal lines. And now I'm just going to go through and erase my guidelines that I don't need anymore. And at this point, once you get like the basic shape of your buildings in, you can start and put windows in or balconies and stuff. You can make it as complicated and detailed as you want. For this example, I'm just going to keep it pretty basic with just the general shape of the buildings. So then I'm just going through and erasing the guidelines, and then I have a row of buildings. And then to just add a little bit of detail, I go through and I add the dashes in the street and then some sidewalks on the side of it. And then to finish it off, I put a little sun in the background, because why not? We all need a little extra light in our lives. And that wraps up our lesson on 1-point perspective. I hope this helped you guys a little bit. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thank you.